You there? Hello? I see. Okay, but I can't hear you though. That's the only thing. You might have to hang up Skype. Is your microphone muted maybe along the top there? Oh yes, I see. Oh, that's right. Try now. Your microphone was muted. I still hear no audio. I think we've got a chat function available on the side here. Okay. I see your note on your presentation. But we can use if you look on the left side there, there's all that panel of different applications, and you might need to click to activate the top one, click to activate the chat one, and you should see my comment. I just added a comment in there. So all of your icons for managing this Hangout are in a pop-out menu that on the left-hand side of your screen. Now I see you're back. Oh, there you are. I see your video. I see video, but still no audio. Do you hear me? I I, uh, I see your video. Do you hear me? So something's up with the microphone, and it looks like your microphone is on. Although for some reason I don't see it being active down in the bottom part. I wonder if you might have to log out of Skype because it might be using up your, might be sort of have a dibs on your microphone. Do you want to try that? Try logging out of Skype, and then you might have to actually start this room again too, or rejoin this room. I could stay in this room, but you'll have to rejoin it after you've signed out of Skype. Yep. I'll change my lighting a little bit. I don't like these harsh overhead lights. connection. I'm not sure what the issue is. Your microphone is active. See, I don't, down in the bottom where you likely see my picture, I don't see your picture. I should see your, it almost looks like there's some application that's either not on or not installed. So it's the Google Video or the Google Voice module that might be missing. You see on your screen too, in that collection of applications, you should see one called Control Room, and that should be giving you all of the controls for this particular session for sure. There you go.
Okay, can you still can't hear me?
I can hear you, yes.
You can? Okay. I went into the gear up at the top, and I just changed it so that the microphone and the speakers are my USB audio device.
Perfect. Perfect. And I think we're recording here too, so all of this has been recorded.
Oh gosh. Oh well.
Which is fine.
Yeah, it's my first time, so oh well. Here we go.
So, do you want to go ahead? Do you want to go ahead, or do you?
Hold on. Now it's really loud.
No sweat. Do you want to carry on this, or well, I guess what you can do is edit. Oh, sorry.
Go ahead. I can do what now?
You can edit this later in YouTube if you want, so you can trim off that whole front part of this thing. So if you start, so if you want to just start your presentation now, what you can do is later you can edit this and sort of take off that whole front end part of it.
Right. I understand. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. All right. Okay. Now, so do you see me? Ahead. Okay. Before I get started, can you see me?
I don't.
You don't?
I don't see you. No. I see that your microphone's on, but no.
Okay. Okay. Well,
you might have to switch on another.
Yeah, in the little thing that. Whoa, gosh! Things keep happening. All right. Well, anyway, in this little box, when I was watching the instructions, it said that this little picture of me would show up. I can see a little picture of you. It says Glenn, and then there's a little box for me, and it just says you, meaning me. Earlier, when I was messing around and you know, typing messages to you and everything, I had this awful expression, and I could see me real big in the window, and I was wondering if you could see that. It was awful.
I saw that. Well, I mean, it's fine. Again, along the top is another set of icons there. Beside the gear, there should be a microphone or a camera mute.
Yes.
So
I see those two things.
Yeah, turn the camera on, and even just turn it on for a second here now, or 30 seconds or so, just so that you establish your presence in the room, you know. So that if anybody looks through, they can see that it really was Parsley Spicer that did the presentation.
Yeah. Well, actually, you know what? It says it's turned on. Everything is turned on, so I'm not even sure.
Okay.
I don't
know.
Well,
that's fine.
But anyway, we can get started. Yep. Thanks for your patience. I'm always learning something new from you, so that's a good thing, I guess.
Well, likewise, I'm always learning something new too, and Google keeps adding things to this all the time too. That's so
yeah.
Everybody's learning all the time, which is good.
Right. Okay, so let's see if I could. I suppose the best way to do this. If I tell me if it's starting the slideshow, because I had to come into this window to start.
And if you just want to leave this,
something happened.
If you just want to use this view, that's fine too. And just click through the slides.
Okay, I was trying to do that, but what happened when I did on just okay, so all right, so I'm here. Every time I try to go up and touch the controls up in here, that it gets this little thing gets in the way.
Oh, yeah.
Can I control it from there?
Well,
I don't.
there's a couple of things that I mean,
Let
if
me
you
see
want to
something.
do any place where you see that little sort of slideshow icon, you can click on that.
Uh-huh. Okay. I bet
Now
you
I
can
see,
see me now.
I
Yeah, I
see,
was gonna say, I bet you can see me now.
I see your camera now, yeah.
Um, yeah. So okay because I went into sharing myself. Okay, so
That's fine.
this is the slideshow, but I just need to know how to navigate from slide to slide. Do I go into actually go back? Because I did it in PowerPoint. Because
Yeah, that's fine.
and I
But you should
upload.
just be able
Is
to,
that fine? Yeah.
you should
It's
just be able
just
to
how
just click on each one
on
of the
each one.
slides.
Okay. All right. So
So I just see what's on your desktop, so.
and then I have to keep coming. Okay. So you can see the window. I guess that's it's not letting me
Yeah.
do it in the window in the screen that I'm sharing.
Oh, really? Oh.
Yeah. That is the problem.
But I saw you
So
switch. I saw you
you do
switch from your first to your second slide. So just click on your
okay.
third slide. Try clicking on your third slide.
Okay. Okay. I think what I have to do is just go back into PowerPoint is what's going on. Yeah. Okay. So, all right. I'll do it
Except,
from here for right now. Yeah.
except
What I'll do
now
is I'll
now
run the.
I see your
Now
video.
what?
I just see your video again now. I don't see your presentation.
Okay. So, do you see it now?
Not yet. No. You have to
No.
share your desktop basically.
Oh. Okay. Okay. So let me. So instead of sharing this little, I don't know if you can see this. This is I'm into it says share for Hangouts, and it has full screen. It
Yeah.
has Google Hangouts, Google Chrome. It has my PowerPoint, the slideshow. I was in the sound for a moment. It
Yeah.
was a lot of things, but
Well, it's asking you what you want to share. So you want to share your presentation, right?
right. And I want to share, I guess, full screen, whatever that. Let me see what
Yeah.
that
Full
is.
screen, yeah.
Whoa,
There we go.
that
Well,
was
yeah.
well.
Actually, what you want to share is your desktop.
Oh, yeah.
That's fine.
Oh,
Just
it just get to my
minimize
desktop.
this.
Yes.
Yeah, minimize
And
the
this is now
browser,
here. Okay.
and then
So I'll
open your
minimize my
PowerPoint.
browser. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Okay.
There you
So
go.
it's there. Now can you see that?
Nice. And I see you're on your third slide, yeah, or first slide now, yeah.
Yeah, first slide. Okay. So
Yeah,
now you can see this?
I
Yeah?
can, yeah.
Oh,
Second
okay.
slide,
Okay. Second slide. Okay. And now this one?
yeah,
Okay.
perfect.
All right. Phew. Wow.
No, no problem.
Well, welcome. Well, I'll go back one. So, in the interest of perhaps slicing and dicing this to make it some kind of YouTube presentation, I'll
Yeah,
start from the beginning.
okay.
So, what this is just a little word cloud that
Mm-hmm.
I put together to share a lot of the words that I encountered when I wrote the many papers for this course. And as you can see, and through no particular design of my own, constructivism is like the primary word in researchers' framework. And it's interesting, and theory. And those are words that actually were primary in what I learned and what I wrote about in this course. Theoretical, of course, being another one, theoretical and framework. So um, theme, if you will, of this presentation is e-learning, investigating theoretical framework gaps for instructional, and I should have said course design. So,
Very
as I,
appropriate for doctoral level
am I,
scholarship.
yeah, pardon me, for doctoral level scholarship?
Yeah, very
Yes.
appropriate.
Okay, good, thank you. So I started off really, really basic, but it's basic, but yet it's to me very kind of important in that you what is e-learning? And as I was looking through and doing my research, I should say, on various articles, I was coming up with all these different spellings. As you can see, there are four of them here. Well, the fourth one is online learning, but sometimes that was used interchangeably or with e-learning. Sometimes it meant something slightly different. But I thought it was interesting because one of the research articles that I read mentioned that just as there are various interpretations of the name, there are different meanings attached to the definition. So the name itself was not consistent, and to me that's one big gap. What are we calling this? And why can't we agree on just a simple thing like how we want to spell it? Should it be E lowercase, L lowercase with a hyphen in between, or no hyphen, or capital E, capital L, or it's just so many variations. And at one point, I was wondering if in the one of the papers that I wrote you that you were going to say something to me like, well, you were inconsistent in how you reference e-learning, but my inconsistent was based on quoting or using the term the way in which my uh, researchers used it, and it varied even within one paper. So I thought that was interesting. Just the fact that we need to come up with one way that everybody kind of consistently
Hmm.
genre. So that's one thing.
Good luck with that.
Yeah, right. Right. E-learning and distance education, they're not synonymous terms. Distant learning can exist without online learning. And that goes back to, I guess, back in the days when secretaries did distance learning and learned the skills that they needed to work in an office. That was, or what it was called something else. The name is escaping me right now, but
Correspondent.
oh, correspondent. Yes, yes, correspondent. Um, and then here we come to online learning is not necessarily distance learning. So again, it's just these terms and defining them. Um, Now, and I'm not going to even try to pronounce this. I'm sure I could.
Hmm.
Vahopoulos, yeah, and Sangra defined four. Well, see, I said I was going to try, and I did. Anyway, they defined four categories of definitions related to the applications of e-learning. That it could be technology-driven, delivery system-oriented, communication-oriented, or it could be an educational paradigm by itself. And that was of interest and led me to the next slide, which I didn't mean to do that. I pressed the enter key. I didn't mean to do that. Okay. For learning theories. Now, throughout, as you encourage me to write the papers from the theoretical framework to find the theory, I kept seeing four major learning theories: behaviorist, social learning sometimes seem to be referred to as social constructivist, cognitivist, and of course constructivist. And I just put this up. It was from, I believe, one of the articles that maybe you referred me to. I have looked at so many now, I'm not sure. Does this one ring a bell with
Looks
you?
familiar,
This
yeah. And
particular,
those
yeah,
categories are certainly common.
yeah, yeah. And so that's as I looked at different articles or did, the research, it seems that sometimes some of the learning theories overlapped to be applicable, or perhaps I should say to be applicable. Maybe more than one might a course design. For example, I did the paper that had, and that uh, seemed to, well, the research that I found seemed to, point toward the constructivism, but then it also could incorporate, or some of the lessons in working on a collaboration type of lesson for online learning could actually be cognitivist. It varied, at least as I was beginning to see it. So I was very excited when I happened upon an article that talked about the eclectic learning theory. And the eclectic instructional design is a practice or design practice in which instructional designers blend two or more learning theories to create a results-oriented learning experience. So I saw this as not, well, perhaps not necessarily
I'm losing your audio now.
to do research. And where did you not hear me? Want me to
It's
back
back
up on
now.
what I was saying about an
No,
it's back
no,
on
it's fine.
now? Okay.
It's got it. Yeah.
No? Okay.
Yep.
Yeah. I was just saying that the eclectic learning theory was very I was exciting to happen upon the article that I read about this, because it bared out what I was seeing as I was reading more and more, that two or more learning theories could create a results-oriented learning experience. So I see that as, perhaps I guess you could say, as a gap in the research, or a gap meaning that more research could be done. I would love to have an opportunity to have a class that divided students in such a way that one one portion or one lesson uh, tested the theory, like maybe one just focus on the constructivism, and then the other same lesson but creating or designing it from the standpoint of two or more of the theories, learning theories, and to see what the students, what they got out of it and what was the end result, kind of thing like that. And I can explain this a little better as I move on. The um, same, let's see, from this same article, the author put this diagram together. And actually, he got the diagram, as you can see, he adapted it from another work. But it looked at the ADDIE theory, but pointing out of the design portion of ADDIE were the four learning theories, and then from that you get the micro. So what the,
I'm having trouble with the audio again now. I've lost your audio again, Marcela. There you're back, I think.
is it back?
Well, now I see your video. You might have to
Yeah.
close some other applications that are operating behind and just
Right.
keep the plus
The
window
pre
and the PowerPoint.
right. And let me get it. Let me go to my desktop. I have the hardest time. I closed out of it, but it always wants to. The Windows seems to want to stay open. I have the webcam. That's the only
You
thing
can,
I have running is really the webcam and the Hangout and my presentation.
okay, so if you mute your webcam and then just use the desktop sharing,
Okay.
that might clear up some bandwidth.
Okay.
We just needed your video feed on for a brief time,
Mm-hmm.
but now up at the top you should be able to turn camera off.
Okay. Let me come back here and do that. Yeah. Camera off. Okay.
Okay, and then go back to screen sharing.
All right. Okay.
No, you kicked yourself out. Yeah, I think you. So just on the green share desktop, okay, mute your camera, and then just hit the share button on the left hand panel.
Yes. Okay. Is this? That's that thing again. But I think that when I
So just
do, I
minimize your desktop. Yeah, there you go.
okay.
Yeah,
There, yeah.
and that should be
Okay.
better
So
now. Yeah, good.
okay. All these technical difficulties. I've got to buy a, 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 a computer. I have been relying on my laptop, and it's starting
Yeah.
to really get finicky with this laptop. But did you hear what I was saying about the ADDIE and the learning theories and the course design? This slide when I was explaining the multiple theories, and then I was starting to tell you about this teacher at the elementary school.
Hmm.
Did you hear that part?
I did. I got part of it at least. So,
Yeah.
and
Okay. Well,
I'm just making some notes along
what?
in the
Hmm.
chat too. So don't worry about responding to them. I'll ask you later.
So the conversation I had with her, she's and constructivism learning theory, I want to say, and now I've lost my thought, but it has something to do with multiple with applying multiple learning theories to an e-learning course design, as opposed to strictly saying, oh, it's constructivist or it's cognitivist. Is one or the other. That going back to this slide where I talked about the eclectic learning theory, that it could be more than one. So a situation or an opportunity to do further study in that regard and to test this theory, to test the eclectic learning theory the authors Hohenbein, they did a study on this. Okay. Um, I got a little bit into the role of the teachers. Uh, Traditional from kindergarten up to university has been basically to assist students by constructing knowledge through guidance, providing tutoring, provide reference there, and but e-learning programs require more than merely moving a face-to-face encounter to requires more than merely imparting information. And I think one of the last papers I wrote about, I went a little bit more in depth about the instructor be the facilitator,
Yeah.
and there's need for more study on things. Now, can
Absolutely.
students learn by themselves? Can you hear me still?
Yes.
You hear me? Okay. Um, okay. So perhaps not is what I wrote here. The Educational Testing Service, they put SAT and obviously have done studies about measuring tests and results and so forth. The quote that I got from the article said, "Studying effectively and efficiently through G's requires training and study and cannot be tied to each generation." Furthermore, this ETS report highlights the important role of teachers and experts in designing meaningful study experiences. So, can students learn by themselves? On that, from this perspective, perhaps not. But then from this one, and I loved it and so much, and that was early on in the class, and I didn't get back to it right. Usually I look at your notes and then I try to go and apply them or
Right.
look at the references and just today when I was putting, let me see, what Dr. G was talking about here. I looked at this and I love this Mitra and what he had to say.
You got a
And I'm
meter.
sure you've watched it, so I don't have. Yeah, this self-organized learning environment. And here, of
School
course,
in the cloud.
pardon me.
School in the clouds, he calls it.
Yes, School in the Clouds. Yes,
Mm.
and the way he conducted his study was just putting this and kids come up and figure it out. They come up with this whole statement about neurons, and it was fascinating.
Hmm.
And then he quoted a little bit or used the question that Negroponte had asked, could it be linked or measure where obsolete? I looked at a few of the pictures of kids are given a laptop. A lot of they're given technology and given some direction and allowed to process that without a lot of direct guidance. Yet they're coming up with amazing things. And teacher may well, this future, and we just need to give them the tools and some direction and use critical thinking skills to direct this future. I mean, who knew that some kid, because he was frustrated, would sit up in a room at I forget which college that was one of the elite schools, and with what ultimately is the multi-million-dollar organization called Facebook. I mean, they're designing their own future given a little bit of the basic. So there's more, and now that was where I wanted to go next. The fact that the electronic media
Huh?
just moves so quickly. I mean, before you look up, there's this new tool. Now, how do you use that? I mean, the elementary school where I work, we're finally getting iPads, and next year the principal's already talking about how she's going to have these iPads on carts, and one of the media techs would probably be taking a cart and helping the teacher, but then the teacher is supposed to direct the learning, and the media tech will be there to assist with technology, and then I'll still be in the lab and doing whatever is needed with PCs and teaching basic skills. I mean, it's kind of like we're running a treadmill real fast to try to catch up with something that's ahead of analogy makes any sense. So obviously, the way technology is moving and you try to incorporate it in education and make it viable, it makes it difficult for researchers to conduct studies because studies by themselves take time. You need to have data. You need to have something go on for maybe 2 months, 3 months, a year to get some real data and test it with different groups. Now, obviously, everybody is not moving that swiftly. We still have school districts that don't even have iPads yet. So there's still opportunity for study, but I guess we just need to hurry up. Keep up with it. We just need to hurry up. So anyway, that was research challenges, and then I would go into research gaps. And this quote comes from one of the references that I was looking up. It was assumed that new technologies would transform learning and processes from highly teacher-dominated to student-centered, and that this transformation would enable students to develop their problem-solving abilities, information reasoning skills, communication skills, creativity, and other HOTS, higher order skills. But again, there's limited research data to support these claims. So obviously, there's an opportunity for further study and research and designing, you know, case studies and so qualitative methods of looking at uh, the different avenues of how we're teaching and how teachers are working with students and how students are teaching themselves, et cetera, et cetera. So the effect of students based on new technologies. Now this, despite thousands of impact studies, that's interesting. The effect of new technologies on student achievement
I'm not
open
seeing
to
your
much
slides.
reasonable. You're
I'm
not
not
seeing the
seeing your
slides
slides.
again?
Well, I see them, but I don't see them advancing. I'm on slide 13.
Oh, and I'm on 16. Okay, let me go back. I was talking and talking about.
Yeah, no, that's fine.
Okay, so you saw this one. So you heard me. This is what the slide looks like. Are you seeing it now?
Not yet,
Let me
no.
go. Okay. All right, let's see here. Still broadcasting.
Yeah,
And okay. So let me find my mouse and eh, get back. Okay. You see it now?
I'm still on slide 13. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Hmm. How about if I do this? I guess. Let's see. What's that? Hmm. Hold on. Technology. Oh goodness.
It's working.
Okay.
I don't see your cursor moving on your presentation, so I'm not sure which screen you're looking at. If you're looking at the, you should be able to just
Or
advance.
something. Yeah. We're in the same. Right. It's boring because I'm different view. So oh, did I lose
No, I'm still
you?
here. It's
Now
pretty choppy though.
these slides are challenges.
No, I'm only seeing slide 13 still.
Do you
No, it looks like we're losing our connection too because the audio is kind of almost completely gone now. Can you still hear me, Marsley? And I can't hear you at all. Can you hear me now, Marcelik?